For most of my adult life, my morning started by thinking about everyone else. What did the kids need? What needed to be done? Who needed me? And I truly love that season of my life. But after raising 10 kids, I'm learning something new. Taking care of myself doesn't mean that I love my family any less. It means I'm taking care of the person who has spent so many years taking care of everyone else. And I think that's an important lesson for a lot of women in this season. Hey friends, welcome back. I thought today we could talk a little bit about something that I'm learning in this phase of life, this new phase that I'm stepping into, and it's learning to take better care of me. How did my mornings used to begin? Normally, when my husband would have work in the morning, I would typically get up with him, and my first thought is, all right, focus on my husband. What is everything he needs to get out the door? So it was making sure that he has lunch. If you want to take a lunch, make sure there's food for him to take to work. So if I planned ahead beforehand, which was always a good thing, usually as I'm getting older, I'm seeing I'm a little bit more tired, so I try to have prepackaged lunches, which he likes, and have it together. So all I gotta do in the morning is grab it, grab the kombucha, put it in a lunchbox and ice pack, and good to go. And then I usually try to get the coffee going so that there's always coffee, so I always get his cup of coffee in the morning, take it in the bathroom while he's in the shower. So my first thoughts are, what can I make sure that I get my husband out the door? Usually kind of know where his keys, those kind of things are, so that he can get out the door easily to head to work. So those are usually my first thoughts in the morning of getting him out the door. And then my next thoughts turn to, all right, I've got time for myself. And that would entail take a shower real quick. And then when I'm in the shower, my head is reeling because I'm like, all right, what do I got to do today? What are my list of chores? Does anybody have to go anywhere? What is, plans? Then I got to think about breakfast, lunch, and dinner to make sure everybody's got food. If we were going to be out that day, I'm mentally going through everything. If I have to do a huge shopping trip, I'm mentally going through, okay, do I got everything I need? Is there anything else on my list? Re-looking through my list. So those are how my mornings usually began. And honestly, that's like part of motherhood. That's part of raising a family. That's the choices we have made for having a large family. It's just part of it. But now that the kids are getting older and they're not needing me as much, I still get up, get my husband out the door. But after that, it's a little bit more relaxed. Like I have some time and I can learn to enjoy a little bit of a balance now. My life is not so far one way. It's like I've got a little bit of balance to enjoy a little bit of quieter relaxing in the morning. And so one thing that's changed also is the food that we eat. And because when you're feeding a large amount of people and you're on a budget and you're kind of, your money is going to basically water to pay for in a house to take care of the kids in, it's like you are just more worried about quantity of things. Everybody's gonna make sure their bellies are full. So you always wanna make sure there's enough for everybody to have. And as a mom, going through different phases of pregnancy and all those things and trying to lose that baby weight, there wasn't always like, okay, prep a bunch of stuff for yourself afterwards to lose that weight. For me, it was always, I would make my big pot of cabbage vegetable soup that we made last week, which was delicious, by the way. And that would be like, okay, if I make a big pot, I can just eat from that. That can be my main source of food for the next little while. So I stay away from the carbs, stay away from those kind of things. It's like whatever you have to do to get through those times. It's like, God gets you through them. He sustains you through them. And so now, as I'm getting into the perimenopause stage of my life, I'm learning that, what's a little bit better for me to have a little bit more protein. Sure, it'd be great to have steaks every night. But unfortunately, the budget doesn't allow for steaks right now. And we laugh. Our kids, the kids grow up, they get their own money. They spend it how they want. They DoorDash their food on. I'm like, looked at my husband, I said, when they're out of the house, we are going to DoorDash steaks every night. We were just kidding. Obviously, we pick and choose where we put our money. Obviously, if we want to live in a more expensive area, then we're going to have a little bit less steaks to have. And so that's completely fine. You get your choices. You have a large family, you're not going to get your steaks like everybody else does, but you pick and choose. So you do with what you can do. So I always find those things are never important to me. So I always find alternatives. So even going through a season where you got to kind of budget, kind of stay, lesser on your bills, it's like, okay, you don't need steak. You can still eat without having tons of carbs. Rice, pasta, that kind of thing. And so I've learned to enjoy beans. And I love beans. So like making sure I get my protein that way. I'd like to have you would love to have fresh veggies all the time, right? But sometimes it's like you're down to the end and you can't really get those, so you kind of miss that. So you do want to go for those comfort foods. So I'm learning to make my sprouts, and sprouts are great because they last for a week in the refrigerator, and all you do is take them out. They have that same little crunch. They give you that little the healthiness that and the crunch that you crave in your meals. So for me, I'm learning to and make it more simplified on those things. So a little bit more protein if I can, if it works out. If it doesn't, it's like grab a can of beans, eat some beans. Garbanzo beans are delicious. And then I enjoy hummus very much. So for myself, a good cheap snack / meal is rice cakes with hummus. And I put my sprouts on top. That's one of my favorite things to eat. And it's like, it's filling, makes my belly not crave anything more. And I'm like, okay, that's delicious. So yes, would a big fluffy salad be great and all those things? Sure, but sometimes it's like when you're at the end of the month with groceries, you can't always go get everything you want right then. So having alternatives that you can just grab and eat are always a great thing. You don't always necessarily have to go, okay, I'm out of steak, go get some steak. No, there's canned beans in the refrigerator, in the pantry. Eat those, or I'm out of my green juice. Okay, I love my green juice, but you know what? Water is just fine too. So a little bit of different things. Water with a little lemon or lime in that tastes delicious. In the squeeze bottle, it works. So just getting a different mindset on food choices. But I know these next group of kids, it's like, okay, they're not here as much. I really don't need to feed very many children as much. So it's just small amounts. Like last night we had chicken pot pie, the little square chicken pot pie. I made, I forgot it was a little bit more like not gravy, but the filling, a little more liquid. So I was like, ooh, let me make, so I made a little thing of instant mashed potatoes. So literally everybody came down and just took like a little piece and like their plates. And I'm like, wow, that was good. It's like gone and done. And I'm like, that's simple. It's like simple and easy, small amounts. We have one extra portion left over because one child doesn't like it, but that's okay. But I'm like, just easy, much way easier, much less. It definitely cuts your budget for groceries is going to go way down. And it's like, it just looks a little different. And this season also gives you space for doing things that you want to do. Like I'll talk frivolously. Like I remember way back in the day when I had all my little ones, and can you hear Maxine? She's eating her food. She keeps going back and forth. I'm like, Maxine, you're so loud. But I would look at other women at church and they would have their hair done and makeup done every single Sunday and look great, like put together. Nothing great, nothing like beyond crazy, just put together. Or even that, or I remember even going to my girlfriend's house and she was sitting there doing her nails. She's giving herself a pedicure, painting her toenails, and all I could think of was, oh my goodness, like I long for the day when I don't have to go to church in a ponytail. I long for the day I can get dressed up, put on, a necklace and a bracelet and do my hair and go to church. I long for the day when I can sit and do my nails and have them be painted, and if they go bad, I can just repaint them. So all those times, those were just something frivolous and in mommy longing times that I go, okay, I couldn't wait for those seasons in life to do that. I remember also trying to lose weight after Madeline, then after Stephen, because I had 10 babies and weight gains. I gained 80 pounds, 60 to 80 pounds with every child. So I was pretty much near 200 pounds the last 3-4 pregnancies. And so, and it didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter if I ate great. It didn't matter if I exercised. It didn't matter. It just happened. So anyways, so every time I would literally, we lived out in the country and we had this little circle driveway, and I didn't even have gym shoes. I had my little, remember the Kmart shoes, the little tennis shoes? I think they're like Keds, but they're fake Keds. I remember because everything costs, yes, I could go buy walking shoes. I could have figured out in the budget, but that's just not me. I will try to do things, and work things out. So I remember putting those little shoes on and just walking around the driveway. I had, they had a little, I don't even know what the music thing it was, a tiny little device. It was about this big. It was like an iPod, but it wasn't, something cheaper. And I remember putting it, I don't even know if I had earbuds. I think I just clipped it to myself, whatever it was. But I remember it had 5 songs, and each song was 5 or 6 songs, I want to say, because it was 24, 30 minutes. It was about 30 minutes. So however many songs it was, I still remember thinking, okay, first song, I'm going to get around, 3-4 times of the driveway, or, okay. Then I remember back in the days of high school where it was the straight lines you run, the round ones you walk. Remember that in track? So I thought, and I don't like running. I don't like doing any of that thing, but like that. But I'm like, all right, this is not very big. I can just kind of sprint, little bit, which was just a few feet, it's not that big, and then walk the other ones, sprint and walk the other things. And I remember doing that, and I was like, okay. And then it was like, then I would start, we had like a little bit of a hill around our yard. So then I started going around the house. And so it was just walking through the grass. It was more terrain in doing that, but it was a little bit more just something different. And I thought, you know, I long for the days that you go see people that go for walks. You go for see people that get to go walk at the park or get to go walk in their neighborhood and just get to exercise and not think about those things. And then we moved to the mountains. We lived in a mountain, and you didn't really want to walk down your driveway at all because there was bears. The few times I did, you're constantly on alert thinking, is there a bear going to come out at me or something? So didn't do that. We would go to the park, which is fine, but you still had to get in the car and go to the park. And so, you know, now we live in Florida. We live in a neighborhood, and it's nice because I can go outside and I can go walk around my neighborhood like everybody else does. Then I look out and I see women. My thing, then this is like the next part I see during the morning time. I would see a lot of ladies, and they would just go walking, and they'd walk for, you know, an hour. I could tell they were getting their 3 miles in every morning. And I was like, oh, I wish I could do those things. And this was just recently. And so now I'm looking at my phase in life and what I'm doing different a little bit on my channel here. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that in the morning. I can get those 3 miles in every morning, or whatever the time of life that I can do that. So it's like all those things, they eventually, you can catch up and do the things that you want to do. If you want to do, I wanted to work on my school books for school, which I'm excited. I got my book coming, the high school one. I finally got done, but like I wrote those back in 2016, my school courses. And so it's taken me until just this year to finally go through everything and make sure everything's good, get nice covers. They're all AI, but they're much better than what I could choose from the free service on Amazon. And so it just looks nicer. So that is taking me years to do, but this year I had the time to do it. So it's like all those little things. I'm like, okay, one more thing that I can get to do that I've been putting off every single year. So seasons, whatever kind of things you enjoy doing or want to do in your future, and you think, I can't do it now, know that in time, your life is going to lessen and you're going to be able to do all those things yourself. And also your quiet time with the Lord. I think of my time when I first became a Christian. I remember taking, I was pregnant a whole lot, and I had a little bit more time nursing babies to sit. So I would do a lot of reading, which was very good. So I got to do a lot of reading, a lot of listening, that kind of way. And then as life got busy with kids, I can honestly say I never sat and did devotions. I remember reading women get up a half hour before, and I'm like, I am so tired. I cannot do it. They're like, God will honor you. And I was in my head, I was like, I am exhausted, because I was exhausted from kids. And so it took me some years to get through that. But I remember my time with the Lord was in the shower. And it sounds silly, and people would say, well, that doesn't count. I believe God counts everything. And I remember my 7-minute shower, and I remember praying to God in the shower. And I was like, this is my time where I didn't have to think about anybody. Baby was outside the door, making sure they were doing good. And it was like, that was my quiet time with the Lord. I remember reading a story about Susanna Wesley. I think she was a mother of 13 children. And she would take her apron and throw it over her head. And she'd be sitting there, and her children knew, don't bother her during that time. That was her time she was doing praying. And I thought, if I threw an apron over my head during the day, my kids, something would have happened to somebody. So I think those times you just embrace your season. I always had to do dishes, always had to wash dishes by hand. And so just something did not make it a priority to get a dishwasher, because you know what? You can just wash them and it's fine. That's why I really don't mind doing dishes now by hand. And so I would look out my window. Most every kitchen window except here, I had looking outside. And so I enjoyed that. So I would have little scriptures, and I would put them on index cards, and I would tape them all in front of where I was at. And so when I was doing dishes, I'd be reading my scripture. Some days my body would feel just numb from my day, because you're just getting through the motions. And I just remember reading my verses, reading my scriptures, going through things, praying for my kids, praying for my husband, trying to do those things. And it's like, okay, God sustains you through that. Okay, now, if I let my kids sleep all day, they would sleep all day, because they're all teenagers. They usually get up if they got to go to work or something, or have to get up for something. But I get up in the morning and I sit and do my scripture. For a while, it was like, okay, I gave myself about a half hour. This morning, I took an hour, and I'm like, I can sit. I was like, even though I have to get out the door early today, I was like, you know what? I can sit here for an hour, Lord, if this is what I need to do. And so all those seasons take time to grow. And so I, again, remember looking at women at church, and they'd be talking about praying for hours and listening to God's word and just soaking in God. And I was like, how can you do that? That is not my life. Does God not intend for mothers to be so spiritual. And so all those things like that, I think now I'm like, wow, like how much time I do get to spend in God's word. But then also you also look at it and go, how much time do you choose to do something different, because there's so many distractions and you don't. So, but all those quiet times, and you get, it changes. So all those years neglecting yourself, not taking care of yourself, you know what? Those times do come. So that's what we're going to focus, not going to focus on today, but today we're going to focus on a few things like that today. So we're going to make some food. I'm not going to make a ton of food, but some things that I've enjoyed having and my family has enjoyed having as well. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, I made those Lara bars. Remember the dates with the nuts in there? Those were delicious. Those were delicious, delicious, delicious. So I'm out of those. I'm gonna make some more of those. I really did enjoy the dates, like the Snickers, the dates with the nuts, the peanut butter and the chocolate. That was very good too. I would make more of that, but I don't think I have any. Let me look real quick. I wanted to double check. I don't have any dark chocolate. I have the candy coated chocolate, but it's more like the quick chocolate, whatever that is. It's not as good. I didn't mind the chocolate melting disc were good. I just don't really like the candy bar kind of, the big giant chunk thing. So that I won't do, but that was very delicious. I do have some chocolate chips, but I'm gonna save those for recipes. So that was that was another great thing to have. But the Lara bars, I really enjoy those. So we're gonna make those. Let's do those first. So let me get out my ingredients and we'll whip them together. Okay, I looked in my little baking drawers. I'm like, what do I have? So I've got my dates. Remember I got the Medjool, I think they're called Medjool dates at the discount store, and they were so cheap, which is good. The only problem is they have pits in them. So all you have to do, I have to soak mine just for a few seconds because they were frozen, and you want to make sure they're soft. So you just open it up and you want to take out the pit. It's literally right here. If you do not, this does not grind up, this will break your teeth. So I'm going to do that to all of these real quick. It's just going to take about 5 minutes and I'll be done. And then for my nuts this time, I feel like I did pecans last time. I was just thinking, I'm like, what did I do? But I have a little bit of walnuts and I have my pecans open. So I'm going to take those two, grind those up in the food processor, and then you can add in your dates. So it's like 2 cups of nuts, 2 cups of dates, and then you're gonna add about, I think I did, let me look in here, how much, half a cup of cocoa powder, and then I'll probably do like a cup of coconut flakes in there. It's all by like seeing it and see what's in there. So let me just deep hit these. Okay, that just takes a little bit of time, but it's one you want to make sure you're very thorough. Like I just took them, put them in the measuring cup, and then I rechecked them again and found like one little tiny top inside there, because it's so hard, it'll crack your teeth. So it'll crack your teeth. You don't want to crack your teeth. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm thinking this is over 2 cups, obviously, so I'm gonna do a little bit more just to make it great. And then you know what I have got a tiny bit of chocolate chips. I was thinking maybe I'll do some of those things, but I think I'm gonna do something different. I think I'm gonna grind this up with the nuts so they're tiny, because there's literally like that much and this much. And then I will do, to have a little bit of chocolate in the chunks along with the nuts and the coconut. And I'll put cocoa powder in there, is that it? And then the dates, right? A little bit of salt, I'm looking through. All right, so I'll measure a little bit, but it's gonna be an eyeball thing, but just put them in the food processor, let them grind up. It's like 10 little chocolate discs. This work. Be good because it's gonna have little chunks of chocolate in it. Let me do it. I feel like that's gonna be a lot in there. Is my thing gonna fit everything? That's the key. Okay, we're gonna do this a little different because I don't want to run out of space. So let me grind everything out. I can split the mixture. Let me put this in here, coconut, because that's delicious, and cocoa powder. I'm gonna do about a little over half a cup. That'll work. Okay, a little bit of salt. I always forget my salt. Let me grind this up, and then I'll put it in a separate bowl, and then we'll do the dates, and then I'll do half and half. I like this one. I'm gonna add a little bit more. This stuff freezes well, so I'm not worried about anything going to waste. Put that in there. It forms something. Now you can put these in balls. I'm gonna do them in a pan and make like bars. Okay, these are amazing. The only thing I did different last time was I put coconut on the bottom. I did not this time, and that's fine. It'll be like what I do when I'll put this in the refrigerator, let it get a little bit firm. You can leave it out too, it's just a little softer. And then I'll cut it into little squares because I usually eat it in squares. And I'll just take parchment paper and just kind of fold it around each square and stick it in a Ziploc bag. Because when I go to eat one, I grab one out with the wrapper. So if my hands get sticky, they don't get sticky because they're on the wrapper. But you can put coconut on the bottom too. I just forgot about it until I put it down. So full pan, delicious Lara bars. And also very low sugar because it's just the chocolate, dark chocolate chips, which is very minor. And normally I never put those in. So I just had them, using up my fragments. Okay, so I'm still gonna go on the healthy kick, but my kids aren't gonna eat Lara bars. They would if I said, this is what you're eating, kids, eat it, but they're still kids. Something I made last week that surprisingly they liked is the bean brownies. The bean brownies were very good. The longer it sat, the texture got better. It wasn't terrible the first few days, but as it sat through the weekend, we kept going back and eating it. I'm like, wow, that's really good. The only flaw is very dark chocolatey, and that's fine if you like dark chocolate. I do. I looked at the recipe, that's what's called is dark chocolate bean brownies. So what I was thinking, I told the kids, I said, what I would do different is make an icing. So I will do a, like a butter powdered sugar icing, is like whip it is what I'm thinking for the top, to give it a little bit more sweetness because the mixture is very chocolatey, very brown like. So I would do that, I think, for the thing, which we're gonna make. This is gonna be good. So then I went to go to my pantry and I'm like, I thought I had all these black beans. I did not. I have a lot of kidney beans. So what I'm gonna do is, I was like, surely you can do kidney beans. So I have got black and kidney, and I'm gonna put those into my blender. I was gonna do garbanzo beans, but I think that these will be dark enough. I'm gonna grind these up right here, yes, or add on my liquid, do on my liquid. So this is off the Bush's Beans website, that is there. So I will add, instead of oil, I'm gonna do butter, put my eggs in and vanilla, grind that up, and sugar, and then grind that up, and then I'll add the other stuff, and then pour it into a pan and bake it. It was good, it was very good. So just a different topping if you need more that sugar aspect. So you grease your pan, and then you put your parchment paper in the pan. So this worked out good. And then you put the brownies in here. Okay, so you bake it for 30 minutes. Now the last recipe, I put chocolate chips and I put walnuts on top. And so I like all that, but the kids are like, don't put the nuts on. So we're just gonna bake it like this. When it comes out, I'll make an icing and we'll put it on there. But it's a little bit richer, like compared to the bean donut recipe. I feel like that is a lot more lighter consistency, where this is more chewier, fudgier, if that makes a good sense explaining it. So let's talk mama's treats and mama snacks. So today's one of those days where we have to get out the door early, and so I either eat like dinner before we go, but today I have to go a little bit earlier. So my meal, my time window that I'm gonna eat today, I probably will do just a lighter day. And so what I'm gonna do is, I bought mangoes from the freezer, and it's been in my freezer for months. I haven't touched them for a while. I was loving frozen grapes. Had those stocked up, and I just got out of them, and we didn't get any more. So then I would just grab frozen mangoes, and it was good to eat on, but I've been trying to get away from tons of fruit because, you know, that makes you all bloated. But I was thinking the other day, the kids were talking about like acai bowls. They like those kind of things, and I'm like, those are good, but I'm like, you never make anything like that at home. And so I'm like, why don't I do something similar to it? And I'll store my extra in the freezer. So normally I would just take mango and grind it up, but what I'm thinking, I was sitting there last night, I'm like, I feel like I can make it better. So I've got coconut milk powder. So I'm thinking to take my frozen mango here, I'm gonna put it in the food processor, a little bit of water so that it'll puree up. I'm gonna add some of this to it. So it's kind of like thick, like a smoothie. And then I'll put it in a bowl. And then I've got homemade granola, which I love. You can put anything else you want in it, like Nutella, peanut butter, all that. I don't like any of that stuff. I just like the crunchy granola and coconut and maybe some, do I do nuts? I could do nuts, but I'd have to grind them up, so probably won't bother with the nuts. So I'm thinking that'll be a very good little, like a smoothie bowl basically, right? So let's try it with the coconut milk. See, it's even grind up. I don't even know if they will or not. You know how frozen fruit is. So is that better in the food processor than the blender? Okay, so it's obviously gonna give me chunks. It's not gonna make it smooth, it's just more ground up. But let me take this coconut milk, because this was very cheap. And do I have to mix it first? Can I just grind it all? Let's just do this. Let me add, I'm gonna do like half a packet. Half a packet. And then add a little bit of water to it. We're gonna see. Let's see if this works. And then let me grind this up. I don't know if that's gonna stay or to stay chunky, but we'll see. Okay, I think we're going with it somewhere. I probably need more water. Let's do a little bit of water. Ooh. Okay, so it'll be like having a smoothie. Is it wrong to put all that coconut milk powder in there? I don't know. Is that too much? Is it like tons of, I know coconut has a lot of, yeah, let me add a little bit more water. Oh wow, that's really good. Okay, that's a winner. That's good, because it's got a little bit of chunks of the mango. Let me put these in little bowls. To me, this is delicious. Like when we go to the the acai bowl place, I don't like the acai bowl. I just don't like that flavor. But they do have a coconut-based one, similar. It's just the same kind of. It's coconut milk and coconut something. But I think they have a mango one too. So that's actually good. So there's a little bowl that I made at home for nothing, and I've got all this granola here. I'm like, wow, we've had a lot of granola. We've been eating other stuff, so there's a lot of this left. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make a little bit more. The kids, they don't all love mango, but I'm thinking, why don't I get banana out? Maybe some strawberries and do a couple bases like that for them today. So let me do, and this will be good. I'm not gonna eat this right now. Put the lid on it, put it in the refrigerator. It's gonna melt. Put it in the freezer just for a little bit because I'll eat in a little bit, and then the rest I'll freeze. When I go to eat them, if you put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds, they'll kind of be semi-thawed. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing for them, but I'm gonna just use the same one. They don't love mango, but it's okay. I'm gonna put bananas in here and strawberries, and I think I'm gonna use the coconut milk because they don't usually love coconut milk, but it doesn't taste like coconut milk, you know what I mean? Let me put bananas in here and strawberries. And I'll add a packet. Now I know you can add a whole packet. This was cheap. Aren't these like 25 cents, maybe 50 cents? You know what I did put in here? The blade. No! Let's dump it out. Don't forget the blades, most important thing. Okay, let's do that again. So if your coconut powder is stuck on here, I'm gonna put some water in here. Kind of squish that around, get that off. Okay, there's creamy. It doesn't even taste coconutty, and it's sweeter. So mine are mangoes. Maybe they're not as ripe or who knows what, but nice. So I'm gonna put them in little bowls here, and then they can take them and put granola on them, have them for breakfast, and then take them out if they want to eat them a different day. Okay, so nice little smoothie bowls for the kids. They can have with granola, a little healthy alternative. I love to do the aesthetic videos. I even had to laugh because I'm not eating yet. So I put my granola bowl together because I know that's what, it's good to see what it looks like when you eat it. I'm not gonna eat it right now. I'm not gonna eat it for a few more hours. So I'm like, that's okay. It won't be as crunchy. Just don't put your granola on if you're not gonna eat it. It's not gonna be crunchy, but I wanted to be able to show you what it's gonna look like. And I was gonna make my snack, but I'm like, it's gonna get soggy and then I'm gonna like waste and enjoy the meal that I'm gonna have, the one meal a day I'm gonna have. So I'm gonna just tell you about it because I wanna get done. I wanna get done with my filming because I want to go enjoy the afternoon with my kids. So I do rice cakes right here. Aldi rice cakes. If I'm out of rice cakes, I have the little rice crackers. Those work good too. Packet of hummus. I either put 2 or like I think I have, there's 4 in here. So I'll probably do 2 and 2. So for 2 more meals. And then I put a whole pack on 2 of them. And then I take these sprouts and I cover the top of it. I will use the rest of these up. I'm gonna make some more because it's been in there a little bit. And then if I need like a little bit more, I feel like I need more, like more yum to your food, you can, I like to put the sweet chili sauce on it. So I put like a teaspoon of sweet chili sauce and I just drizzle it on the top. That to me is delicious and filling. And I feel like I'm getting a meal. So I will have, for my day today, today's gonna be a lighter day, and that's okay. It's not like this all the time. Sometimes I eat a burger. Sometimes I have way more food. It just depends. But for my meals today, just because there's certain times during your month that where you need to go lighter on your stuff, and so today's one of those days. So I'm not starving. I will be fine. I'm gonna do the hummus with the rice crackers, and then I'll do a smoothie bowl. So I'll have that today. That'll be it. If I'm starving, come later. And then lots of water today. Today's a good watering day. A watering day. I gotta water this person. And then if I'm starving, I do have more of the chickpeas that are, I think they're roasted or whatever they are. They're like crispy. So I got them at the discount store for 30 cents. Those are in my car all the time. So I will be in my car for a long time tonight. So I will use those and I'll eat them. And that's straight up protein. So if I didn't have those, I would take a can of chickpeas and I'd munch on some chickpeas. So that's a beautiful thing. It's like you always got something to eat that you don't need to eat, like a burger or a hot dog. And there's nothing wrong with those things. Those are delicious too, but I don't feel like I have to have those for my day. So that is gonna be me. So let's get out. I'm gonna, do I have another lid? I do, but I'm gonna just take this lid off and leave this in the refrigerator. Let me put this back and I'll get out a new jar and we'll make some more sprouts. I had this package of sprouts for years. I believe right after we moved in here, it's been 3 years, over 3 years that I got it. So it lasts you. I keep mine in the refrigerator. You'll have it forever and ever. Now I think last time I did 2 tablespoons in the jar and I feel like that was kind of squished, but 1 is not enough. So I'm gonna do 1.5 tablespoons in here. From what I remember, I'm like, I go in spurts when I make it, when I don't. Let's do like 1 3/4. So you'll have it forever. And then I take cold, my sink water's not cold, filtered water, and I'm just gonna go like this. And I believe I have 2 of these. Let me get the seeds off. All right, put that right on top. This is gonna soak for a day with my cold water. Tomorrow, I'll dump that out. I'll take more filtered water and rinse them off, and then I'll set them up on my counter. I turn it upside down to get the water out, and then put them on their side, and they'll grow sprouts in just like a few days, which will be great. So I'll use up what I have for the next couple days. I'll have something different for snack, like since today's lighter, tomorrow will probably be something a little more heartier. Just depends on how I feel. Want to see something real funny? Look at Maxine. You would think that we would have went for a long walk today, but we didn't do anything. This rainy weather season is like never fun. It's like the winter where you don't get to get out much. So I know as the weather changes, we'll get outside more with her. And we go in the backyard, run her around out there, and that's good. But this time, it's like right now it's even raining. So it's like, just don't take your dog. So, all right, what else? I'm looking at my list. The kids, I was going to make them grits this morning. If they come down and they want grits, I'll make grits. It's very simple, but I made the smoothie bowls. I thought they didn't know I was gonna have that. So lunch, I wanna get done. You know what we're having for lunch today? Because today is their day. They leave is pizza. So we could do sandwiches. Sandwiches are fine too, but I'm pretty sure that they get, is there scissors in here? I thought there were scissors right there. I'm pretty sure they get like a meal tonight where they're at for church. So I'm not gonna make too much because again, it's gonna go to waste. There is a couple meals in the refrigerator if anybody wants them. I have a little bit of leftovers from each day. So this one is, I'm just cutting my pizza into thirds. I try to do the same size. Do like a peace sign. When you're cutting for 3, do like a peace sign. So I'm gonna make, because I'm gonna put this in the oven here when the other stuff is done. Oh, that's good. One is gonna be Alfredo, the other 2 are pizza sauce. Easy lunch. Now, like I said, there's leftovers in the refrigerator. If somebody is starving by the time we get home tonight, I have peanut butter and jelly because we have bread. They can eat that too. No one's going to be starving, I promise you, but I just don't want to make too much because it's just not going to get eaten up. So this is good. As soon as my brownies are done, we'll put these in and then we'll make our icing for our brownies. And I think that's going to be it, right? It is going to be it for my day today, so that's awesome. Okay, brownies came out, they're perfect. They're come out real clean like the donuts. So I'm gonna make icing here. So I'm gonna do, I've got a 1/4 cup of butter, and I'm gonna do a 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, vanilla, powdered sugar. Right, so like what does the rest of my whole day is gonna look like? The icing is gonna be delicious. The brownies are just too warm. So if I put them on, it's just gonna be like dripping off, which might be okay, but I feel like I don't wanna lose all of it. So I'll let this cool for a little bit more. Put this on top and then it'll set up. Eventually I'll take this out, put it inside a plastic container with a lid, and we'll have brownies, and I know they'll be delicious. So I've got this, and I've got, the pizza is in the oven. It's pretty much in there. See it all? There it is. It's doing its thing. Crisp enough. I'm just gonna actually shut it off and it's done. So this is my day. My life looks different. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that I appreciate you spending the day with me. If you're in a season where your life just looks different and you're not sure how to navigate or not sure what to do, like I'm almost feeling bad leaving, going, it's probably not even that long of a video. And I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. Just know that you're not alone. We are going through these seasons together and just going, okay, this is a new season. So embrace it. And we're just gonna walk in it and see what the Lord will do. So adjustments, we're just gonna learn to walk through them. It's okay that you feel like you're losing the person that you were. And also I think that happens at this age of our life in menopause, perimenopause time too. Women just kind of, you know, hormones are going crazy. It's just like when you were first on your period, when you were a teenager, and I remember the hormones feeling crazy. And so everything is an adjustment. And I think a lot of people, they don't know who they are. Women, like I've been reading so much more, and like just different stories. People that, you know, people say hormones and do therapy, don't do therapy. I mean, there's lots of it. You got to pick and use wisdom for yourself. Like you have to choose the best thing for you. So what works for one person does not work for another person. So that's the key. You got to, you know, look at some different options, find out what works, and then go with that. And, you know, if it's not working, then look into something else and try something else. But don't think that just one way is the way to walk it out. You know, for me, for perimenopause, I've talked to a bunch of different women, read some different things, and I'm like, okay, those all sound good. And okay, then I see somebody's got it worse. Then it's for this person, it's much worse this way for them in that area or whatever. So everybody's got different, and there's not a whole lot on it. There is more than there usually is. Like nobody ever talks about perimenopause. Nobody talks about any of that stuff. You just are deemed as crazy. And so you're deemed as crazy, and it's a struggle to go through. And I think a lot of women get separated at this time of their life. I've seen the statistics, I've seen the post, I've seen all those things because they just, they don't know who they are. And if you're not in a relationship that's a good foundation relationship, you know, there's no understanding when the other person is going through things. And so it's just, it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle to go through things. And so just know that, you know what, find something that works and go with it. I'd love to say that I'd stay on track all the time. I've lost that 10, and you know what? I teeter-totter, and I'm not to the next one just yet. And I'm like, okay, so now this month is here, and I'm like, okay, here's my chance this month. And I feel like from last week to this week, literally last week up to a Wednesday, I was feeling amazing, doing great. I was walking and just feeling awesome, even in the gloomy, doomy weather, eating good. By Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 days, I felt like I fell off the bandwagon. And it wasn't because I was too much of anything. I didn't really walk. I didn't feel like it. I ate, and I ate normal foods. It wasn't like I ate bags of chips or I ate tons of pasta or anything like that. I ate normal people foods. But I gained 6 pounds just in a few 4 days time. And I'm like, my goodness. But I also know it's the time of my month where you're gonna have a little bit of bloating. It's all water, it's all those things. And so then Monday came and I was like, okay, I'm gonna feel better. I don't want to. Normally you get in that cycle of feeling yucky. And so I almost didn't want to because it's hot, it's sweaty, it wasn't beautifully sunny Monday. And I was like, I just have to walk. I have to push through and do it. So I did. I made myself walk and get my 10,000 steps in. And you know what? By the end of the day, I felt a whole lot better. Now, if I didn't, and I did what I did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I would be in the same boat. I would feel miserable. I would be feeling blah. And then all your stuff that bothers you, your inflammation, your womanly stuff, all that, it just makes you feel blah. Mentally, it makes you feel blah too. So for me, I'm like, okay, so I had to push through Monday. Tuesday came. I had to do a similar thing, kind of push my way through it. I'm like, okay, today's here. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. Even though it's gloomy, doomy outside, I feel good. I feel good. I feel like I can eat good today. I feel like I can walk good today. And so like getting back on that path, and then those 6 pounds came off back to my baseline. And so I'm like, it's not like I starved myself or did anything. I'm just back to baseline. And now I'm like, okay, so now I'm like, let's go full steam ahead and let's try the next route. So my goal right now is I'd love to say in the next couple weeks that I dropped a few more pounds in my journey. Will it happen? I sure hope so. I know that life circumstances, all those things play a factor in there, but that is what my hope is. But I hope that gives you some encouragement for maybe when you're struggling. I know, like when I lost weight before, I didn't struggle. It wasn't up and down. It wasn't any of that. It's like it kind of, would go down a little bit and it might stick for a minute, but then like after a couple days, I'd be able to go down. And I lost all those pounds. I lost those pounds after every child, but I was younger. So now I'm 50. Now it's like an up and down battle. And I can see how mentally that can take a toll on you, especially if you're not doing what you know is working for you. You know what I mean? Like some women go on the hormone things and that makes them feel amazing, and that's great. Okay, some women take different herbal supplements and that makes them feel great. And if they don't take it, they feel yuck. Or if they know they can only eat certain things and they don't, they know they feel yuck. For me, it's walking. Walking has changed me, how I feel amazing. And so if I don't get to walk or I can't, I realize how yucky that feels. Well, yeah, you should still be able to go outside and feel great. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So it's like there's a whole process that doctors have boiled down to as to how walking makes you feel, what it does for your body, all the insulin, all that good stuff it makes. And so it's like, okay, I know that works. I know that's good. Overall, for just making me feel good and keeping my levels normal. You know what I mean? Normal, as normal as they can be. You know what I mean? So I am on okay, let's hope this week does better. And if it doesn't, that's okay, because at least I feel like I'm on the up ramp of feeling better. You know what I mean? Like where last week I feel like I was doing great up here, and then by the end of the week it went down and then way down, and then the weekend. So Monday I'm like, all right, push, I'm coming back out of it. So now I feel like I'm going on the upward slope here and I'm coming through. So I'm hoping by the weekend I can feel as great as I do right now, and then I can continue that cycle into next week. So that's my hope and prayer. So hopefully that encourages someone there if you're going through struggles, or I don't know, it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle going through things, but just, you know what? Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep pushing through. You're going to make it. I promise you. If you fail, I have failed so many times. So many times. I keep blaming stuff and I'm like, stop, just stop. It's okay. You'll get there. So you will too. So, all right. So you have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy your day. And I'm going to go enjoy mine and get some walking in, enjoy time with my kids, edit, all those good things. So, okay. And I'll see you tomorrow with another video. We'll make some more food. Less. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.